How's it going, YouTubers and YouTuberettes and watchers and subscribers and douchebags and wonderful citizens of the YouTube metal webosphere all alike? My name is Brainsmasher, and I got a shitload of music to talk to you about. So the job's been going good. I got my first paycheck, and what did I do? I spent some money. I got more stuff coming in, so we'll do that in the next video. But right now, I've got a heap of fucking music to tell you about. Putting all my stuff into Discogs, getting everything put up in my shelves. I'm pretty sure I have officially run out of room on the shelves. If not, I'm very, very close. But I don't see that causing me to stop buying music anytime soon. So I got a shitload of CDs, a couple LPs, while I'm yapping my gums. Falls Auroras, The Light That Dwells in Rotten Wood. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful album. I busted this out just because they've got 2 albums after this that are amazing. And I was just kind of feeling like this one is a little bit buried by the weight of those 2 great albums. So it's important to remember that even though bands keep on putting out great albums, go back and listen to the good ones. It's so nice just to go back and kind of reminisce on those times. The drummer on this album, Austin Lunn, put out Panopticon's Kentucky. This is his solo project. I'm sure you're all aware of Panopticon, but this is the latest reissue of the album. This album is the album I have the most personal connection with out of every single one in my collection. Bindrune just put this out, Bindrune Nordvis, and Marty from Bindrune was friendly enough. Who are we kidding? He's not my friend, he's my brother. He sent me a free copy of this. I didn't order a copy of it because honestly I have 2 other copies of it on vinyl and a couple on CD, so I just thought, you know, I want you guys to have them, but Marty knew that he should send me one, so he did. So thank you, Marty. Beautiful, beautiful green wax. In case you don't know, in case you're curious, on the backside here, this Hi Adam. This is a little like running joke. Adam is the bass player in Cedar. So don't re-sleeve on video. Austin also has his own label a little bit called Lost 40 Recordings, and Lost 40 Recordings reissues albums that they see fit, and this is the latest from Lost 40. This is the Morningside, the trees, the shadows, and the past. The wind, the trees, the shadows of the past. Band is from Moscow, and this album came out originally in 2007. We got Lost 40 and partnered with Bindrune there. This is a single LP, beautiful gatefold on flat matte paper with an insert, and I'll show you the vinyl. It's really gorgeous here. If you're into Agalloch, Insomnium, any of that dark metal kind of stuff, look at that gorgeous vinyl. Green and kind of gold, orange splatters. If you're into any of that stuff, get this. This is so fucking amazing. If you're into Rapture, get this. You can hear a lot of this album's influence and this style of music's influence in Panopticon's Autumn Eternal album. I feel like that album is kind of a tribute to this band or the bands that play in this style. So that's it for the vinyls. So let's see, smallest stack here. I ordered a couple from Profound Lore. This is the latest from Loss. This is Horizonless. Fucking amazing. I'm probably going to be doing a full review video of this album next week. Great, get it. So sorry for the brevity on a lot of these. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you about Lost. They're a great band. I know my personal insight on it might be a little bit of value to you, but it's just going to have to wait till later, because we got a shit ton of stuff to go through, and it's a lot of the stuff I don't even know anything about. So yeah, I don't really have an opinion to offer on a lot of this. Next from Profound Lore, though, Cruciamentum's Charnel Passages. Killer I don't know, sort of harkens to old school death metal, but I feel like this really just is the state of death metal currently. Just super guttural, pummeling stuff with lots of variety. Brilliant songwriting. I love this fucking band a lot. They're from the UK and they just toured with Blood Incantation. Next, I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce this correctly. Secrecy. I think I finally stumbled upon it. I think he's going for Secrecy. Maybe that's what he's going for. Anyway, the album is called Stoic Death, and this is a death metal band or solo project by the guy from Cosmic Church. I'm not really a big fan of that project, but this is pretty good. I really like this record. It kind of reminds me sometimes of like Bolt Thrower, sort of, but it also kind of has some Finnish 90s death metal kind of stylings to it. But check out Stoic Death, Secrecy. Adam Schnellenbach, get on this. So then, the first big order I put in was through Redstream. I don't remember how I even wound up on Redstream's website 2 weeks ago or so. But Redstream's a label I've been ordering from for years, but it has been a long time. So I first probably started ordering from Redstream back in like 98, 99 or so. Great label. I've even went to the guy's house back in 98, I guess it was. But anyways, a lot of great prices, a lot of killer stuff, and I'm just kind of surprised that I didn't know that Redstream had a lot of stuff that I've kind of had in my need to buy list for a long time. So I picked up a lot of stuff that I've been saying I would buy if I saw it, you know, at a store or for cheap or so. So a lot of these are super fucking cheap, but that doesn't mean that I'm not stoked to have them and that I haven't wanted them for a long time. And most importantly, that they aren't great records. So let's just start from the top here. I've got Mephistopheles' Modern Instincts Purity. Last episode put this out in 2001. This is a German symphonic black death metal band. I'm surprised it's been sitting in their fucking distro for 16 goddamn years. I have another CD by these guys. It's really great. Just as orchestral and symphonic as Emperor or something like that. This one, though, upon first listen, I'm not so sure what I'm thinking about it, but hey, it was cheap, and maybe I'll get into it as I listen to it more. Next is Chrome. This is the Moribund reissue, or combining of Slayer of Lost Martyrs and Crown of the Ancients. I don't know much about this band. I just have always thought that I needed to pick this up, so I did. It was probably like $4 from Redstream. None of these CDs that I got from Redstream were more than $7. So check out Redstream for a ton of great deals. This is Frozen Ocean. The album is called Van Vidsanger. I don't even know if I've heard this one, but they did an album. I'm not sure if this is their latest or not. I hope it's their latest because that's the only one I've heard. And it was fucking awesome. It came out last year. And I just thought I need to start picking up all this band's stuff. It was like really symphonic, super musical, probably Swedish. Next is Quert, or Quert. He Who Has Known the Gardens. Super experimental and strange project from Argentina. I've probably talked about the side project of, well, I don't know. These guys are both in a project called Fungoid Stream, which is super cool, like Lovecraftian funeral doom. And this kind of like goes even further down that path, being a lot more like desolate, a lot more quiet and kind of ambient and experimental. So this is a real oddball release. I highly recommend checking it out. I've only listened to it maybe once or twice, but I'm stoked to have a copy of it finally. Another Moribund release here. We have Brown Jenkins. This is Death Obsession. I have had MP3s of this for a long time because I used to frequent the Relapse message boards, and there was a guy on there whose band was called Brown Jenkins, and I was like, oh, I'll check it out. And this record is really interesting. Strange, like atonal, almost Vedbuenzendish riffing. It's kind of suffers from not having a real drummer. There's a drum machine on it. but honestly, I wouldn't say it really bothers me all that much. It's tolerable. I just kind of wish it was a little more organic and human sounding. But anyways, this is really immersive, strange, and just dark as fuck black metal from the United States. I don't really know much else about it yet, but it's a good album. I've listened to it quite a bit. So next, got 3 releases from Falkenbox. Each one of these was like $7, and I don't know, a couple of videos ago I picked up their latest Asa album, and I was like, I didn't realize that I was missing so many Falkenbox albums in my collection. So here they are. I picked them. I think I got all of them now. Heralding the Fireblade, Turidia, and Oknesva Taisvar Tai or something like that. I've had all these on MP3 for a long time, so I have them on CD now, so I'm not a fucking bastard. This is a great fucking killer Viking black metal band from Germany. Next I got Old Waynes. This is Death Nord Cult. Now, I don't know, it's been many years since I listened to this. I remember thinking it wasn't very great, but since then I've picked up the band's first 2, Where the Snows Are Never Gone, and some other one. The first couple of them, and they're fucking awesome. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and re-listen to this one and see what the deal was. I don't know. I think I remember this kind of being a lot more complex, a little bit more well thought out, and that was kind of not what I was expecting. But anyways, I've got it now. We got a shit ton more to go through. I need to race through these, I guess. The Chochwin, Algonki, and Mythos. This was put out on Dark Horizon. I also have a Dark Horizon order coming in next week too, but I've been meaning to just fill out my Chochwin collection. This, I think, is the first one, and I have not heard it. In fact, it's still sealed. I want to say this was like $3 from Redstream, so if you're looking to fill out your Chochwin collection, Redstream is a good place to do it. Next, I've got the new Borknagar, Winter Thrice. I've been kind of touch and go with this band for a really long time, since Empiricism, honestly. I would say, I don't know, just they're more prog stuff I never really cared for. And this, like, Garm was really the main draw for me, but when I heard that Simon Hesnes was back in Borknagar, I immediately jumped on that, and I got their last album, Erd. And Erd, I don't know, it was one of those albums you listen to for like a month and you're like in awe of it, and then you put it away and you never pick it up again. But anyways, this one's pretty interesting too. So Garm is back singing with Borknagar on this one. And so there's 4 singers. There's Vintersorg, there's Simon Hesnes, there's Garm, and then there's Lars Nedland, who I didn't know has been singing and writing a lot of the songs for the last few records. And honestly, I feel like, of course, it seems like the vocal booth here is a little crowded with 4 fucking amazing singers all over the place. So it's a little kind of like a vocal circle jerk for me. But honestly, the songs that Lars Nedland sings on, did I say Lars Nedland? The dude from Solofald, I like his songs the best on here. So the last one I got, Satyrcon's Nemesis Divina. This is the reissue, remaster that came out last year. Of course, I've had this album on CD for a long, long time. This was one of the first black metal records I ever got into. I'm also kind of touch and go with this band. I could expound upon it quite a bit, but I thought, yeah, I'm curious enough to hear what a reissue of this would sound like. Because if memory serves me correctly, the production on this album did always kind of bother me. I gave this a spin yesterday, and I was too distracted by remembering how awesome of an album it is to really take notice of any remastering that had gone on. So my jury is still out on whether it was worth remastering or not, but here I have another copy of it, whatever. It was only $7, so that's amazing. So next is the Bind Rune stuff. I ordered 2 CDs from Marty, and Marty, being the generous, kind bastard that he is, he sent me a ton of free shit. A lot of it I don't even know what it is, so pardon my, I don't know, glossing over a lot of it. But the stuff I did order, this is Merg's Gudatal. I gotta tell you, man, this is probably gonna be one of my top, if not the #1 release of the year. I gave it a spin last night and fucking blew me away. I listened to it twice in a row. Killer fucking riffs. No bullshit on this. This is just simplistic, great fucking black metal. I don't know. Simplistic might not be the right word to describe it, but it's just stripped down, no bullshit. Wonderful, slick production. Great, brilliant fucking riffing. The vocals are great. The drumming's great. Just incredible songwriting. This is a Swedish band, but to me, they kind of come off as a Norwegian band. So Nordvist put this one out. Packaging-wise, there's really nothing to go on. I was reading an interview with these guys, though, on Bardo Methodology. That was pretty interesting. Next, I've got Via's Remnant Light. Now, this is the Bindrune Nordvist release. Hell, I haven't even opened this yet, but Marty sent me a promo of this digital promo a couple months ago, and I've been spinning it, so I got a copy of it. Great atmospheric black metal from Australia. So next are the freebies that Marty sent me. We've got Of Hell. This came out in 2010. The Underworld Regime. I never really was a fan of Gorgoroth at the time of all that fucking fiasco where they were dealing with the trademark and all that shit. So I can't remember if this is King of Hell. I don't know. I'm not a huge Gorgoroth fan, but this might be cool. Whatever. We've got Margit Roll Funeral. Let's see. This is from... Of course, I don't have a year on this. This 2002. This might be the last album that Frederick Anderson drummed on, if I'm not mistaken. But I didn't have this, and I'm pretty happy to have it now. Yeah, next, this is going to be a lot of stuff I don't really know shit about. Ewiges Reich, Krieg has Tod, Tyrant Dracona. I think I have this actually. It's like a kind of retro, barbaric thrash, kind of a la Disaster. I don't know this band. This is Skeptic. We've got Disintegrate from Zyklon. I have a couple of their records, so this is pretty cool. In Thy Flesh, I think I have their first album, and they cover an REM song, Losing My Religion. Black metal version of that. Fucking weird. Let's see here. Next is Aetherius Obscuritas. I've heard the name. It's on Paragon. Paragon puts out some great stuff. I don't know it. Grave, Fiendish Regression. This must have been like a comeback album or something. I'm not sure, but 2004 is when that came out. I don't have very many Grave albums. I've got Into the Grave, and Here I Die Satisfied, and I've always meant to pick up, I'm not going to think of it, the other full length that was early on. No, I've also got Hating Life. I want to get Soulless, and there's the other one I want to get. I won't think of it. This is Mandatory, Adrift Beyond. I've never heard of this band, but it's on Extreme Music, and that label puts out killer fucking death metal stuff, so I'm stoked to have that. Next is Hecate Enthroned, Redimus. I don't know when this came out or what this is like. 2004, I guess. Never really got into this band. I always heard that they were like second-rate Cradle of Filth, and I always thought, why would I want to hear any band other than Cradle of Filth play music like Cradle of Filth? So I never really checked out Hecate Enthroned, but maybe this is great. Thank you so much, Marty, for the generosity. I've got a lot of stuff to listen to. I've got a couple of comments or questions in the past about like wanting to be in the clique of Marty and I's friend group, or really it's the Bindrune family that I belong to, and friends with so many other Bindrune artists and friends. And so to have someone ask, like, how do I just step into that? I don't know. I don't know how to answer it, and there's no way I could not be offended by that, I guess. You don't just walk into a family like this without, I don't know, you just don't do that. And that's not what I did. I've known Marty for years, and we've had tons of friends in common for years, and we've done so much for one another that question is absurd. That's what a family is, and that's what friendship and brotherhood is all about in this community. So to have that question asked to me, I just kind of wanted to put it on video and put this to bed. You don't just join the Binderoon family or anything. You know, I just am. I'm friends with Marty and the label, and we have been for years, and that's just the way it's always going to be. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that anyways. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing, and stay tuned for more reviews next week. I promise.